Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center, man. So I'm gonna jump. I started a series covering the quarterbacks that was coming out this year's draft, the 2025 draft class. So I was like, man, you know what? Let me go ahead and jump over to the receiver category. So we're gonna get straight into this video. So, man, I do not know how to pronounce this guy's name, and I don't want to butcher his name. But I noticed as I was watching his highlights, they was calling him T-Mac. So that's what I'm just gonna call him is T-Mac. So this play right here kind of stands out to me for the simple fact is that, sometimes we look at the added effort given to a player, right? So you look at this play initially. It was nothing there. I feel like the team defense played this as good as you can play. As you had a safety over the top, and you kind of had a guy underneath. Now, where the receiver came into play in terms of his football IQ is that he noticed that, okay, he was able to, get his eyes back towards the quarterback, and he noticed that the quarterback had a clean pocket. So that gives him a little bit more time to make something happen. So what he does is, because it looks like they was in some type of zone, and it probably was a zone to try to, keep somebody underneath and somebody over the top to minimize his efficiency. But what he was able to do is sit down. Originally, nothing was there, and he kept on working across the field to get into those soft spots, and the quarterback just put a ball right there where he can get it, and it allowed him to catch it and run after the catch, and that led to a touchdown. So that was good football IQ on his part to not give up on that play and just keep working across the middle. Man, this dude right here is a freak of nature, like for real. Something that you don't normally see from big receivers his size, that's 6'5", is the shiftiness that he has, right? Most big 6'5" guys, being that they're so long, sometimes they can look a little stiff in ways. Now they don't normally look like smaller receivers when it come to making moves, juke moves, and things like that. But, for one, shout out to this quarterback, man. Like, even on that previous play I just looked at, the quarterback threw a dime on the money that allowed for him to run after the catch when he was able to separate, sit down in that little soft spot in that zone. And then even on this play right here, the quarterback threw another dot, put that thing on the money that allowed for him to run after the catch. But the biggest thing that stood out to me on this play, like I said, man, was his change of direction. He was able to make a move, and he didn't lose speed in and out of that cut. He maintained speed and then was able to separate from the defense as a whole after he made his move. And like I said, man, that's just not something you see on a regular from a receiver that's his size. So I was wondering when I would see one of those he down there somewhere moments, and that's exactly what happened on this play right here. You see that the pocket was collapsing. They was able to get in and put pressure on the quarterback, and he just said, you know what, he down there somewhere. Once again, this was pretty good ball placement to put in a position where he can go up and make a play on it and stay in bounds. But like I say, man, obviously this is one of those undefendable plays to a certain degree. It's almost like darned if you do, darned if you don't, because if you don't defend it, it leads to a catch. And if you do defend it, 9 times out of 10, being the size difference is probably going to lead to a PI. So you're able to move forward whether you catch the ball or whether you don't catch the ball. So having a receiver that possesses those physical attributes, it gives you that added level of protection, even if you do just heave a ball up there. Now, also, too, that's also beneficial, obviously, in the red area when you can get those one-on-one matchups, when everything is much more tight and confined and you probably can't have a safety over the top. It gives you that option to say, okay, I can get that matchup one-on-one. And if we get that favorable matchup, and there's not a lot of cornerbacks that probably can match up with him, speed, size, physicality, all those are tangibles, and you just lob that thing up there and he just go and make a play like how he did on this play right here. So we have one of those situational moments, and I was kind of looking for some of this so far as I've been watching film. So this is a 3rd and 9 play, right? No field goal opportunity if you don't convert. So this is one of those gotta have it situations. So when you gotta have it, guess who you're going to? Your playmaker. So that's exactly what they was able to do on this 3rd and long right here. Now, granted, man, one thing I will say so far, like from watching this, is the fact that Arizona has a pretty doggone good offensive line. I mean, from what I'm seeing, because even if you look at this play right here, like look at how much time. Now, granted, they only rushed 4 guys, but look at how much time they had to allow for a play deep downfield to develop. Now, you got to take into consideration when you get to the National Football League, you probably ain't going to consistently have times that you're going to be that open. Now, granted, if you roll out the pocket kind of similar to what he did here, you do give yourself a little bit more leeway because you put more distance between you and the defensive lineman. But granted, like I said, in the NFL, the lineman, defensive linemen in the NFL can close the distance much faster than a lot of those guys that's in college. But, this is one of those gotta have it moments, and they needed a play to be made, and he was able to do that. So like I say, man, he's able to, stretch a defense downfield and hurt you downfield, as well as hurt you underneath with catch and run opportunities. But, that stood out to me right here on this play. Just one of those gotta have it situations. Can he make plays in those moments? And as you see right here, he did. So right here, you have another one of those gotta have it moments. I mean, you look at the score, they down 24-7, third and long, like the previous play. They were able to get pressure on the quarterback, so he had to make a rash decision. And when you have a receiver like this, once again, it gives you that benefit of saying he down there somewhere. So when you can say that he's down there somewhere, you can just put that thing up there and know that he's gonna go make a play. When you got a receiver that's that long and rangy, he has a pretty high volume catch radius, and you could put the ball to where places to where only he can get it. And once again, like I said early on, as a defensive back, it puts you in a bad position because it's like, okay, I can't out jump him at the end of the day, but I have to try to stop him from catching the ball. So sometimes they can lead to a sense of being too eager, which can get you PIs, which can lead to the ball moving forward, regardless if he caught the ball or not. So having a receiver like that, man, is very difficult to guard. And that's one of those situations where, like I say, man, as a DB, it's only so much that you can do. You put the ball up there, he's able to go up there and get it, but then also still having balance to be able to stay in bounds after making that catch. This guy right here is something special. So far from T-Mac, man, we've seen him be able to hit you underneath with the catch and runs, and take a 5-yard catch and take it down the field 30, 40, 70 some yards for a touchdown. We've seen him be able to hit you down the field, stretch a defense, and hit you 30, 40 yards down the field for a touchdown catch. And we've seen him be able to make contested catches on the sideline, whether that was against one-on-one coverage or even against double coverage. Now we see his danger in the red area right here on this fade route. So the corner played this as best that you possibly could play it. If anything, my critique, I would say that he probably could have tried getting hands on him and try to be a little bit more physical with him to try to slow down the timing of it, if possible, because you just never know. They might have sent the house on this play because it looked like they did send a blitz. So if I'm able to get my hands on him and slow it down, quarterback might not be able to get it to him. And if he do get it to him, it might not be as accurate, and it might put it in a bad position to where he really has to make a hell of a play to make that catch. But right here, like I said, you get the best of both worlds. The corner end up getting hit for a PI, but then you also got a touchdown. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, this was third down and the play wasn't caught and it wasn't a touchdown. Well, it's still pass interference. So guess what? So now you get another shot at it. And that's one of those things that you have with him. I remember Nick Saban said that his high school coach told him one time that it's not always about the play you call, it's who you call it for. And having a guy like this, it shows to be true. It's not all about the play calling, it's who you calling for. And when you calling plays for this kid right here, man, he's going to make plays for you. So we got another one of those gotta have it situations. You got 3rd and 5. We gotta advance the ball so we can try to drive down the field and put some points up, whether it be a field goal or whether it be a touchdown. So the defensive lineman tried to anticipate the snap on this play and end up jumping off sides a little too early. So what does that give you? A free play. And obviously when you got a free play, who you going to? Your playmaker, which is T-Mac, and that's exactly what the quarterback does here. And T-Mac had the guy beat originally anyways, too. So even if it wasn't a free play, that might have still been an option because he did have a step on him. It just gave him the comfort to say, man, you know what? Now I just can put this up there. And even if we don't get it, we still get a first down because he jumped off sides. And once again, he used his body as if he was a center or power forward in basketball to box out the defender, go up, high point the ball, and make a play for a touchdown. So we have another one of those gotta have it moments. This was a 3rd down play. So the reason why I make sure that I specify that it's a 3rd down and it's a gotta have it moments, because it is. Obviously you want to see, it's easy for guys to make plays on 1st down, 1st and 10, maybe even 2nd and 10, 2nd and 5. But when you making plays on 3rd down consistently, and when they're constantly going to you on 3rd down, that lets you know that they're basically saying, hey, you are our best playmaker. We need a play to be made, so we coming to you. And that's exactly what they did right here. So I was waiting to see how good his route running is. And like I say, man, this dude right here is a beast, bro. Like the stuff that he's able to do with his size and with his frame is very, very impressive. Like even on this route right here, you see how he was able to kind of stay low, put his foot in the ground and stop on a dime, get his head around, catch the ball with his hands. And let me specify how important it is as a receiver to catch the ball with your hands, right? When you catch the ball with your hands, for one, that shows that you have hands, that shows that you have confidence in your hands. But when you catch the ball with your hands, it also takes away from the possibility of a DB being able to make a play on the ball. See, if you catch the ball with your body, it allows a DB to be able to possibly drive downhill on a break and, swat at the ball because you're allowing it to come to your body. But when you catch it with your hands, and not only that, go back on a route like this, work your way back to the ball to attack the ball. Now, granted, situations may vary. If it's a zone and it's the soft spot here, then you probably gonna want to sit it down there. But if it's not a zone and it's like more of a man coverage, or if you see that is no defenders underneath you, then you allow yourself to be able to work back to the ball, make a play, and then it also gives you opportunities to make a catch after the run. But just a solid route by him as a whole, man, being able to put his foot in the ground, turn around, get his eyes back to the quarterback, and make a play. So once again, you see his agility and athleticism on display on this route right here. He kind of ran like a little out and up. Now, here's the thing. I don't really understand how, as a corner, you kind of bite on that, because it's like, okay, if you do run that out route, where are you going after that, right? You maybe got a few yards, and then you're going to be out of bounds. So, I mean, for that one, you kind of would like to see the corner be a little bit more patient opposed to trying to drive down, because it's like, how you really ain't going to undercut that. Either the ball is going to be placed where only the receiver can get it, or it's just going to be out of bounds. But he did a good job at remaining at the same speed in and out of his break, which is impressive. Like I said, once again, for his size, you usually don't see guys that's that big move so elegantly like how he does, and it's a sight to see. I think that he's going to be a problem in the NFL wherever he go. And once again, like I say, it's just an added benefit to have a guy like this that's very versatile in the red area, to where you can just lob the ball up there, he can go and get it, and if you need him to be finesse like he did on this play right here, he can also do that as well. But man, that is it for this video. If you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. If you are a fan of Arizona, or if you are somebody who is looking at your draft picks, your NFL team wise, and you want your team to go and get this guy, man, comment down below that who you are, because I'm interested in seeing that. And I'm not quite sure exactly where he's going to be going, but wherever he go, I know he's going to be an added benefit to that team. And I heard rumors, well, I don't say rumors, but I seen even in the comments, somebody was saying him and CD Lamb together. And I was like, man, if this dude go to the Cowboys, that's a scary sight right there, man. But like I was saying, man, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, click that notification bell, where you be notified every time I upload, man. And I'll see y'all in the next video.